Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We just came home from the Stavanger area where we have been teaching papermaking for a couple of weeks, and we're headed for another tour in an area much closer to home. My life has been a lot about traveling and teaching lately, so I decided to make a video about just how life on tour is, with its ups and downs and a little bit of the behind the scenes of all of that. I tried to be as real as possible with the filming of this video. I often share with you the beautiful places that we get to see when we're traveling with our workshop, but there is so much more that goes into it, both beautiful things and struggles. So in this video I just wanted to share the actual day-to-day of all of that. And in many ways that felt kind of fitting with the season that we're in. It's definitely not the most inspiring and adventurous time of the year. It's just so cold and grey and nothing really happens. It just feels like this standstill in nature. During this time I often walk around in the garden kind of restlessly, looking for shoots and sprouts, just hoping for some sign of spring. It feels like the spring is so close that when I close my eyes I can kind of see it coming to life around me, and it feels so intense and warm and alive, and then I open my eyes and, you know, that's not the reality we're living in. If we have the possibility, we often plan for our touring to be around this time, because just sitting at home waiting for spring makes me a little bit crazy.
Mulig. Så langt kom du.
Jeg tror det skal gå, men det er ikke så lett.
Det er ikke litt vanskelig for planten å på en måte tilpasse seg når det er liksom alt er fossent rundt og at den skal slå røtter.
Men hva skal jeg gjøre da?
Jeg vet ikke.
I guess you will have to stay here and wait for the spring. It's a Sunday today and we just came home from Stavanger area and touring in that area on Friday in the night, and today we are going to our next destination, which is Kragerø. It's also in Telemark and we're gonna tour there for about 2 weeks. And then we finally have some time off. Bendik is actually going to Japan. He's going to Awagami paper factory. It's a very well-known, like worldwide known paper factory, and he's gonna be there as like an artist in residence together with his mother actually, and she's also going to be an artist in residence there. So he's going there, he's gonna be there for a month, and I'm gonna stay here. But right now we're headed for our next destination. We're packing, we're preparing the next tour. Bendik is making pulp in the living room. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I don't know what's happening, but I don't know. I feel like I've been saying this a lot, but this school year, like from the summer to now, we have been touring so much, like much more than you have actually seen in the videos as well, because I don't necessarily always film. I think we've been touring for about 5 months since the summer. Yeah, I am so exhausted. I feel like I need to make some sort of change, but I'm not sure what change, and yeah, I struggle with that a little bit these days, I have to admit. I've been thinking a lot about it lately because I've been so exhausted from the touring, and I'm so grateful for every single tour that we got, and it is such amazing work really. It's just that it's been a little bit too much. I can feel how I'm starting to become, you know, like so physically tired as well. Like I wake up in the morning just being really exhausted, and I often cry on Sundays when we are going to leave. So yeah, I'm struggling a little bit, honestly. It's not really a very serious problem, like it sounds very serious in a way, but yeah, of course it is. I mean, it means a lot to me, but yeah, compared to a lot of other horrible things that we are seeing in the world right now, this is very, very small, and I'm so aware of that. At the same time, I also know that I need to make a change, or something needs to happen. So, but change is scary, and I don't really know what to do. And with that, I need to move on and make some preparations for this tour. I almost feel a little bit bad for showing you how much of a mess this room is right now. Because you just watched me like a month ago clean and tidy and just organize my whole house, and now it took me such a short time to just make a mess of it again. And Bendik is making pulp in here. The kitchen becomes his workspace for making pulp when it's cold outside. Every room in the house, basically.
A mess.
A mess, yes. Really crossing my fingers that in our future home we're gonna have some more space for just things like this, because the whole house becomes our workspace when we are on tour. When we are touring non-stop and we just have the weekends off in between, this is usually how we spend our Sundays. Preparing for a full week of workshops and sorting all the equipment. And one thing that has gotten so much better over the years is that we know what to do. We have our checklist, we have our routine, and we just get to work. While before we would sometimes spend the whole weekend or sometimes even a whole week to prepare for another tour, because we had to think through every single step of the process. I feel like if you are a new follower, you might not even understand what we're doing, because yeah, it's a bit of a strange type of work that we do. We basically tour Norway with 2 different types of workshops, and one is paper making from recycled materials, so we kind of make paper out of different materials that we bring to the school, and we teach the kids how paper is made in a way. And then there's another workshop which is more about plants and wild edibles and how they relate to cultural heritage and how to preserve our plants and our environment in a way. What we're doing now is the paper workshop, and we have a lot of equipment because we basically bring the whole workshop with us in 3 suitcases, and we unpack the whole workshop in the morning in the classroom. And after we finish the workshop, we pack it all back into the suitcases and we leave and we go to the next classroom for the next day. Basically, that's what we do. Very, like the short version. I just walked out of this room. We have arrived at Kragerø and we're going to check into the hotel, but we got a message earlier today that there's not going to be anyone in the reception, so we're just going to use a code. And from the looks of it, it looks, I have to say, very empty. So I'm just like wondering if we're going to be all alone in this hotel tonight. I think it's going to be a bit spooky.
Ja.
This room is huge. It's actually not a room, it's an apartment. And a cozy view. It's not as spooky, I feel like, when it's an apartment in an apartment building. Like,
Pretty cozy. Så är det 8 elever på första gruppen och så blir det 16.
Det är så slitsamt. We are just sitting here at the moment, looking at maps, and yeah, it usually happens whenever we get to a new place with touring that we sometimes just sit down with maps and we look at like cafes in the area. At least that's usually what I'm looking at. And Bendik just ends up looking at all these random things that you can do in this area, like mini golf or something like that.
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff, yeah. It felt very quiet when we came, almost like a ghost town, but I guess that's normal for a Sunday in Norway.
Very cozy ghost town.
It's a very cozy ghost town, for sure.
Just sing my song as I walk through the gate.
There's this orange window here that creates really cozy lighting in here. So, wish us good luck.
Nei, men det er jo ikke et banneord da. Det er jo et sted.
Just like before, but she doesn't look the same.
After work that day, we decided to walk around Kragerø and just explore a little bit. It is the hometown of the famous painter Theodor Kon and has also been the location for a lot of Edvard Munch's paintings. We didn't really know that much about this place before we went there, but we realized as soon as we got there that it was a beautiful coastal town with a lot of history and a lot of small, narrow streets. All the streets are so narrow, but it's really hard to drive here.
A shimmering light as I hit the ground. The lover had a gun. Now it's you that
I was also really happy to discover the cafe and knitting shop Dahlia. They had some really good vegan food. The excitement of a new place and the sun on my face that day filled me with some much needed new energy. Kragerø is also much further south than where we live, so the spring had gotten way further here, which was really nice. First mustard garlic of the season. That's good. It's funny because I didn't know anything at all about this place before we were told that we were going to tour here. And it's so cool, it's so beautiful. Like really, really beautiful. This is the real cool things about being on tour. All these places that we get to see that we never would have gone to otherwise. After that first day, we both started to feel like we were getting into the groove of touring again. And that's how this life is, I guess. It's a lot of hard work, but it's also an adventure. And the one thing that makes it so much better is doing it together with Bendik. He is just the best support I have whenever I'm feeling low, and he's also there to share in the beautiful experiences and the joy that we have when we travel. When we are on tour, we are actually together almost 24/7 for sometimes months. And we get annoyed at each other, we argue, yeah, we have our days, but most of the time it goes surprisingly well. I also really enjoy watching Bendik teach because he's really good at it, and we are a really good team when we work together in the classrooms. I'm usually more of a strict teacher, while Bendik is more of this calm and steady type of teacher. And that works really well too, because then we can kind of fill the spot where the other one is lacking.
Hva er det dere lager for noe da?
Jeg skal bare skrive en E. Det var litt
Ja.
Og hva er det om det?
Og hva er det?
Do you hear how quiet it is here? This island is called Scot. And yeah, we have some time before the ferry back to Kragerø leaves, so we're gonna explore this oak tree forest, we think. There's all of these mysterious buildings in the forest with no roads, just these tiny paths. We have to go back because we need to be there in time for the ferry. It felt like that week went by really fast and really slow at the same time, and suddenly it was Friday and we were able to go home for the weekend, since we weren't touring so far away from home. Look, it has started opening. That's so beautiful. Hello, little friend. The best thing about being home on the weekends is, of course, to be with our cat Flint. We miss him so much when we are away. And another really good thing is that we can leave all the equipment out to dry in our living room. And it's also much easier to wash all the towels that we use in the workshop and make them ready for the next week. So usually when I come home on Fridays, that is the first thing that I do, so that I am done with it for the weekend.
snow, snow. What is your truth? What's your prediction? To know for what is. But we make our own dreams. It's perfectly clear.
I think this it's just snowing. Oh, it's just, I don't know how to explain, and I I feel like this whole video is just gonna be, I really hope it's not, but I'm afraid this whole video is gonna be just me complaining about the weather. Yeah, I understand, it seems very stupid, yeah. But it is what it is, and yeah, we are not really in the best mood. Bendik is tired today. I've been tired for weeks. Tomorrow is a work day, and this is the only day we have off, and Bendik has to do at least a few of these, like, what do you call it, applications, or yeah, he's gonna apply for funding for the Japan travel. So we are gonna head actually into town and try and do it in a cafe or something, just to like get out of this funk a little bit, and we're also gonna try to get to the gym. I'm gonna try to convince him.
Bendik and I are actually very different in many ways, and one of them is that I am a writer and he is more of a visual person. So whenever he has an application, I usually help him out by reading it and sorting the text a little bit. And on the other hand, he's helped me a lot with understanding how to edit videos and how to use the Adobe programs for the things that I'm doing today. So we have different skill sets, but we try our best to help each other. Do you feel better now?
Ja. Kanskje bedre.
That's good. Even though it started with a snowstorm, the day actually ended really well with a beautiful sunset. And I also decided to bake something, because it always cheers me up when it's really cold outside.
Feel that, but we don't have to feel it when we're using Luca. We don't have to feel it when we're using Blue. I'm just so happy we get to live life with this amazing little Blue. It's just Lydia, just since she was born, I know
I'm so excited about this. While we wait for those cinnamon buns, I'm gonna just answer some comments on YouTube. It's always so much fun to look at the comments and just see what you guys think about the videos and everything. I've been really enjoying it. When you start reaching a certain number of subscribers, it just starts to like seep in a few like mean comments here and there. There was one comment a week ago or so that said that I have a man's voice and that I should regulate my hormones. Yeah. I get some of these once in a while. But mostly I only get so much beautiful comments and love, and I'm so grateful to all of you. Yeah, it's always like one of the best parts of my day when I've uploaded a video. It's just so fun to see what you guys write.
How's it going?
Good. Shredding paper.
Do you feel like this is like? Do you feel like your life is very exciting right now?
Fun to shred paper.
It's the best thing to be doing on a Sunday morning.
It's not that bad.
It's satisfying, I guess. I feel like this whole video is just gonna be like the actual realities of the super exciting stuff that we do in the day-to-day. Like folding towels and shredding paper.
Something to get inspired by.
Very inspiring life. Very inspiring life. At least today it's a sunny day. It feels really good. And I think we'll leave late today so that we just go to the hotel in Kragerø and sleep. And we just stay here for as long as possible.
Jag har gjort det här julmarkerna som är verkligen ett häftigt projekt. Men det som har varit lite intressant i den här processen är att jag tror väldigt många vänner.
I am sitting here registering stuff in my accounting platform program, and yeah, it's usually quite a long process because we actually have to register every single meal that we pay for during the tour. Yeah, so after a long time on tour, it becomes a lot of receipts. But yeah, sometimes it's at least very satisfying to get it done.
Hey. Hei, hei. Du ser. Det er virkelig sånn, du er kongen.
I think we maybe got the best room in the whole hotel.
It's the only balcony on this side of the hotel. And we actually have two, so we have another one there.
So I'm gonna give you a tour because it never happens that we get the most nice room in a hotel when we're on tour. It's like a very rare thing. So let's give it some appreciation here. So we have like a kitchen area here, and here, if you go from the kitchen, you come into this kind of cozy living room, and there's a nice sofa, and then over here is a balcony with a view of Kragerø, which is super nice. So that's our first balcony. Then we close this door because it's cold today. Okay. And then over here is the living room, no, the bedroom. And we have like two doors. And then we of course have the second balcony, which is here. And that's the one Bendik was standing on. I feel like here we can be like greeting everyone that arrives in the hotel and just be like, welcome everyone. There's one thing here though that is a little bit strange, which is the oven here in the living room. It sounds kind of like a water fountain. So we just figured we were gonna pretend like that's that's the sound, because that's kind of cozy. But it's so loud. So Bendik, what is your like favorite thing about this work, about touring and teaching?
There's many things. That's nice. But I think there's two things.
Yeah.
And one thing is meeting all these pupils.
Yeah.
There are so many
The kids.
funny kids and personalities. It's kind of special that we are able to make a small mark in another person's life.
Yeah.
And maybe like in 10 years from now they will like remember this
Yeah.
thing we did. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. And the other thing is that we get to travel around Norway
Yeah.
and just learn about Norway while on our job.
Yeah, I love that too.
Mm.
I would really not want to do this alone. I think I would have been very lonely. I was also thinking that since we traveled for 5 months this year, or this school year, it would have been 5 months by yourself, like all by yourself. And that's of course nice if you're like just traveling and backpacking or something like that, but it's maybe not as nice when you're just sitting in hotels in like grey days in Norway and just like watching movies. I don't know.
And I think when you're alone, it's more of a effort to like. Sometimes you just have to go out when it's bad weather and
Yeah. It's
do stuff
yeah.
to explore, but it's much easier when we're like
together
as a
Yeah.
couple.
But do you think it's fun to work with your partner, like in general?
Mostly, it's this type of work. It's nice. Sometimes it can be difficult also.
Yeah.
Like a artistic process.
Yeah. We
Then
are.
maybe sometimes it's not that fun.
Yeah.
But for this, I think it's very nice.
Yeah. I think so too. We argue a lot when we are doing more artistic work together.
Because it's like
yeah.
art can be very personal, so.
Yeah, and also we have very different ways of working. But with this, we are always like we manage to be like very a team in a way. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Friday and we're done with all the touring for a while now. And it also feels like spring. It really feels like spring now. Bendik is leaving tomorrow and yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but if it's gonna be spring at least, then I'm hopeful that it's gonna be an okay month. We're just celebrating a little bit that we are done with the touring and yeah, celebrating spring. Men hvis det blir sånn som det var forrige helg med sånn snøstorm og sånn, da tror jeg kommer til å sitte og gråte i sofaen. Bare sånn.
Så driver jeg og sender deg bilder av sånn sakura-blomstring.
if this keeps going, I think I'm gonna have a good month, spending a lot of time in the garden. And I'm gonna end the video here, so yeah, let's see how I do with this month by myself. Have a nice spring, everyone. See you in the next one. Bye.